Good evening and thank you for joining us for Crimson News at 10 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. More than $300,000 new dollars for emergency shelters. That was approved by Spokane City Council tonight in a meeting that included several proposals regarding homelessness. Crem 2 political reporter Casey Decker breaks down the details tonight.
Earlier this summer, City Council passed an ordinance. It broadened the requirements for when emergency cooling, warming, and air quality centers need to be opened. For instance, rather than 3 days of 100-degree temps, the city now has to open cooling centers after just 2 days of 95-degree temps. Well, in order to make that happen, it's going to cost a bit of money, so today the council voted to make a change to the budget. They allocated an additional $150,000 out of the general fund to pay to operate these centers. The hope is between the plan and the money, the city will no longer have to scramble to keep vulnerable people safe from dangerous weather events. Council also approved tonight another nearly $200,000 for overnight shelter beds. The money will go to Truth Ministries and pay for the operating costs of 40 spaces. Now, to be clear, these aren't new spaces. This money is to keep existing spaces open and low barrier, meaning people don't have to do things like pass a drug test or go to church in order to get in. The money comes from the federal stimulus package. And finally, there was a third big proposal on the table. It dealt not with emergency overnight shelters, but what's often called a bridge shelter. That's a place where people stay for just a couple months and they get in by referral only, and then they work closely with a case manager. Ideally, they later move on to more independent housing afterwards. The current bridge shelter is called the Way Out Shelter, and it's run by the Salvation Army. And a resolution considered tonight would have allocated $3.5 million over the next 5 years to pay them to run it. But council instead decided to defer the ordinance to a later meeting. There are more details of the agreement with the Salvation Army that need to be ironed out before they'll be ready to vote. Casey Decker, Crem 2 News.
City Council also considered a resolution tonight that would have changed the way you park downtown. The proposal was to basically get rid of individual parking meters on main downtown roads. Instead, the city would use kiosks, the type you punch your license plate number into. But council members did not agree about whether that would be the right move right now. And in a narrow vote, they elected to also defer this resolution to give staff more time to review the options. A dedication ceremony being held tomorrow night for the newest Central Valley High School. The Ridgeline High School dedication will take place at 6 p.m. in Liberty Lake. The construction for this project started back in August of 2019. Students will be able to use the new high school as soon as school starts on September 9th. Well, the Martin Woldson Theater at the Fox announced new COVID-19 requirements today. Those requirements will apply for Spokane Symphony shows and the Fox Presents concert and event series. So starting next Tuesday, September 7th, anyone 17 years old or 12 years old rather or older will have to show proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID-19 test to attend one of those shows. If you are using a test, it must be from within 48 hours of the start of the show. Masks will also be required for anyone older than 5 years old. According to the executive director of the symphony, the move comes as a way to make concert goers feel safe.
You know, as we all know, it's an ongoing, unfolding situation, and our priority is to ensure the health and safety of everybody, musicians, ushers, staff, and of course our audiences.
Events organized by other parties but held at the Fox can still set their own requirements for attendance. The decision comes just weeks before the start of this year's Spokane Symphony season on September 18th. Meantime, staggering hospitalization numbers today from the Spokane Regional Health District. 219 people are currently hospitalized in the county. 291 new cases were also reported today. 5 new deaths were reported today as well. The health district says a little more than 52% of Spokane County residents are now fully vaccinated. Meantime, in North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District is reporting 316 new cases today. Hospitalizations are also high there, with 102 people currently in the hospital due to the virus. 358 people have died in North Idaho since the start of the pandemic. Today, search and rescue efforts got underway in Louisiana to reach people trapped in floodwaters. At least 2 deaths have been confirmed so far. More than 1 million customers in Louisiana and Mississippi, including all of New Orleans, were left without power as Ida barreled through. Ida, by the way, one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to hit the U.S. mainland before it weakened into a tropical storm. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards says the levee system performed extremely well, and as of right now, authorities do not believe a single levee was breached.
We don't believe there was a single levee anywhere now that actually breached, that failed. There were a few smaller levees that were overtopped to some degree and for some duration of time, and that did result in some people's homes being flooded.
So far, 2 people have died in the storm as it continues to make its way inland. Meantime, here at home, a beautiful day across the inland northwest. Let's get straight to meteorologist Michelle Boston, the Outdoor Weather Center. Michelle, earlier today we had that red flag warning. Has that now expired?
Yeah, it's expired. The reason we had that is because we had some very breezy conditions this afternoon coupled with very low relative humidity. So under those conditions, the active wildfires can grow, become more active, and new fires can spread quickly. We still have the winds out there, but as temperatures cool, relative humidity has gone up, so that has expired. But speaking of windy conditions, we still have sustained winds right now at 16 miles per hour at the Spokane airport. So it's a little bit breezy out here, a little breezier in Wenatchee as well, 20-mile-per-hour winds, and in Pullman and down towards Pomeroy, winds are over 20 miles per hour right now. It is going to be kind of breezy through the day tomorrow. Because of that wind, we did blow a little bit of wildfire smoke into the area, kicked up some dust as well. So our air quality deteriorated into the moderate air quality this afternoon, and it's kind of been still going down as the evening has progressed and those winds continue to blow in. So I expect the air quality to at least be in the moderate category, may dip into unhealthy for sensitive groups tomorrow. We won't see a change in that until we get a wind shift or those winds die down. Satellite and radar showing quiet conditions across the inland northwest. We enjoyed plenty of sunshine today, and of course that meant warm temperatures. Right now, though, temperatures in the 50s and 60s across the region. It'll be cool tomorrow, a high barely making it to 70, 71 on Wednesday, 74 on Thursday.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. It is already August 31st in Kabul, Afghanistan, and the Pentagon has announced its military withdrawal is finished. The State Department now taking the lead with its diplomatic mission moved over to Doha, Qatar. Natalie Brand at the White House now with more.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens.
The Pentagon says the last U.S. military plane has departed Kabul's international airport, completing the U.S. withdrawal from a 20-year war in Afghanistan.
A new chapter of America's engagement with Afghanistan has begun. It's one in which we will lead with our diplomacy.
Overnight, rockets that were launched towards Kabul's international airport were either shot down or failed to reach their target. The attempted attack came one day after the U.S. conducted an airstrike against an ISIS-K vehicle filled with explosives near the airport.
This strike prevented a high-profile attack.
The Pentagon is investigating reports of possible civilian casualties from the drone strike. Ahead of Tuesday's August 31st withdrawal deadline, the administration says more than 122,000 people have been evacuated from Afghanistan.
We believe there are still a small number of Americans, under 200 and likely closer to 100, who remain in Afghanistan.
Americans that are in Afghanistan that want to leave and Afghans who want to leave, they will not be denied that opportunity.
This video sent to CBS News from journalists on the ground in Afghanistan is believed to show members of the Taliban firing to the sky in celebration of the U.S. withdrawal. President Biden said Tuesday he will address his decision not to extend U.S. troop presence there beyond the 31st. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Meantime, here at home, a fast-moving wildfire led to level 3 evacuations near Idler's Rest Preservation in Moscow, Idaho. Everyone living near Idler's Rest and Twin Roads needs to evacuate. Evacuations also in place for anyone north of 3830 Mountain View Road. The city of Moscow says structures have been lost and a significant amount of land is burning. Those who are displaced by the fire can go to the Latah County Fairgrounds for a shelter. Our still ahead tonight, honoring 2 local firefighters who died in the line of duty in recent days. How colleagues are remembering Jim Kraus from Colfax and Cody Traber from Spokane County District 9. Also, later up in the show, we'll update you on all those fires burning across the inland northwest. We're back after a quick break.